Hello everyone and welcome to One Wall. I am very pleased today to present you the character J.Johnny. To be more specific, the character talked about in much of our modern media. Although he or she is normally just presented as Johnny, most of the time I prefer the label J.Johnny because it makes things a little awkward for me, as I have been called Johnny by my friends my entire life. Today's topics will include the figurative character J.Johnny, and then later on there is actually going to be some talk about it today. You may not know that J.Johnny has been mentioned as J.J. and also J.Johnny in music. Most of the time it's simply just the word or the name Johnny that they are mentioning. As someone who listens to a lot of dubstep and rap music, I think I am closer to this J.Johnny character than anyone else. I did already mention the white noise in a previous video. If you did not know what that is yet, I recommend you go see my video about that. If you are someone that can hear the background audio in the music already, there is usually a lot more mention of J.Johnny in the background. It appears to me that J.Johnny is also usually more used as a word rather than a name. And how this is done to inherit prejudice to the word itself is simply humoring any accusation or slander that I can possibly imagine, and then sticking that accusation or slander to the word. Just like that, I create a robot to create the world's largest villain, and by that I mean the worst possible character ever created. What I can do and will do with this robot is create a more criminal within it, or inherit more criminals within it. And then I can proceed to add to my pool of pouts with other people's input as well. I call it our input. I do admit this character of J.Johnny will get rather boring if all you do is build negative characteristics. So it is very fun to add in some compliments or more human-like features. The best part of this game here is that you will never get to know if what I am doing to the word or name J.Johnny is covering up his or her darkness with positive things, or if what I am doing is covering up his or her positive characteristics with darkness. To give you a couple examples to hopefully show you how easy this is, keep in mind that regardless of any technical merit that I issue J.Johnny, the key to my game is ensuring that I'm always on top of Johnny, so that I am not below him, her, or her. I just really hope that by the end of the day you are looking down at J.Johnny. That way he or she is not covering me up, the real Johnny. My reasoning being that J.Johnny is a tyrant and a bully. I met J.Johnny once and he or she helped me with my math homework. They sure appeared to be a swell person after that happened. The problem was that there was no reward in it for him or her. So I decided to leave some gum under his or her desk, so that maybe next time he or she will not be such a foolish prick. Furthermore, J.Johnny is a real tyrant and has been seen removing his pants in public. I'll tell you what though, if I ever saw him sitting alone, I would still take a squat next to him, or her. I just think it's funny that she or he acts like they are so well-mannered and kind. But anyone can see right through that. J.Johnny just thinks we are all a bunch of psychopaths or something to that effect. Just know that if you ever talk to J.Johnny in a way, all she or he is going to do is bend you. And so that is why the real Johnny, me, decided to kick his or her ass a little while ago. And I'm pretty sure that J.Johnny learned their lesson. J.Johnny and I met once in June 2011. After our encounter, J.Johnny gave me a long and well thought out apology and then thanked me for giving it to him or her. It's, if J.Johnny was not so silly, maybe they would be picked on so much. Or maybe they wouldn't be picked on so much. I mean, the last time I heard J.Johnny talk, all they could go on about is some one wall. The thing that I am actually very frightened of J.Johnny because he or she is secretly all over the media. Or then again, maybe J.Johnny was only mentioned once or twice in the media. I cannot decide. Everyone can rest assured that if J.Johnny again, I can kick his butt for you. Trust me on this one, J.Johnny knows who is the boss around here. and all it ever took was a rap on the chin to get some respect. When did this encounter happen, you might be asking? Well, it was about the same time that the word or name J.Johnny, or just Johnny, started being heard on the media. It's like J.Johnny does not know something that the rest of us know. It gives you a real sense of security in a way. But because I am not so silly like the way J.Johnny is, I actually just spend some of my free time watching him or her on Google Earth Live. It is just an app on my phone that gives me all of the updates and inside scoops on J.Johnny. What keeps me safe is knowing that J.Johnny can just do what I do at any point in time and probably find their way out of it. And that is what it is, you know. All you should know is that I am not threatening J.Johnny in any empirical way anyways. The only reason I strictly monitor J.Johnny is to avoid confrontation with her or him. Otherwise, J.Johnny might, slip out at me and end up taking over the entire world, or something to that effect. Currently, all J.Johnny does is act like a stupid person who walks around the streets whenever I am watching J.Johnny on Google Earth. Just know, I only do this to him or her because I just cannot handle them. J.Johnny is always doing foolish things. They have never even put in a full day's work in his or her entire life. I just end up in a hole where I am always imagining ways to save her or him. Or just J.Johnny. And it is like, just for once, I feel like I am going to genuinely be worth something in my life. The thing about this mess is that J.Johnny might turn out to be a serial killer or something. So all I ever worry about is if I did it. If the real Johnny, ever picked him or her up off the ground, just imagine how dumb I would look and what they might think of me after that. So instead of doing that, I am here to help you do this. That way we can all keep J.Johnny in check. J.Johnny is just not to be trusted, so I created a cage for them of sorts. This keeps J.Johnny running in an obstacle course that I set up for them. So as soon as J.Johnny even thinks about slipping off the track, well, the cage is actually designed to keep pushing J.Johnny back into the obstacle course. If he or she ever had a real brain, this cage of mine that I designed would not even be effective. So really, it is J.Johnny's own fault, if I'm being honest with you guys and gals, ladies and gentlemen. I am actually sort of relying on you to do my job for me. I actually have proof that I am basically debunked J.Johnny in a real way. To give you a hint, the proof is right there in the playlist labeled Debunk, that I have readily open for anyone and everyone to see for yourself in my channel. Oh, and to double check myself for honesty, I may or may not be lying to all of you in this video in a way or two, or maybe it's just that I already lied to you in a way so that I do not have to lie to you in my own videos. That is just me clowning around a little bit. I would never literally lie in my own videos. To do so would be lying to myself, kinda. If there is one thing I know empirically about J.Johnny, it is that they are indestructible in every way, and in all ways, always. Beyond that, I might have some friends of mine that are actively reading some scripts that I have gifted to them. Reading the scripts to J.Johnny, that way we can keep a close eye on him. One more thing, I will be letting you in on a little secret today, just so that you know we are all protected from J.Johnny, or her. This is sort of why we can keep up with them here. And it is a fact, a scientifically proven method to disrupt J.Johnny's thinking, as in it pops their actual thoughts out of him or her. As bizarre as that might sound, there is a simple experiment that you can do, and it proves that this method will work on him or her. Just know that it is extremely important that we all work together here. That way, instead of bending our readers, we can bend J.Johnny instead. I really think that I should tell you that before exposing this trade secret, so that the short version is to say that making enough commotion or distraction may cause what I like to call a lump, as there is a very large lump in it for you. It is a lump of something, alright. To give you a hint, it is not sugar. And now for the lengthy explanation of it. This is to be explained as a psychological hiccup of sorts, that we are going well out of our way to make sure it happens to them, or she or him. In order to conduct this experiment, you will need a group of people to assist you. After you have that, this experiment is relatively easy to perform. Oh, and there's a couple more things you will need. A chalkboard and a piece of chalk, or something that you can write with and something that you can write on. To begin, the others that are there to assist you must prepare to harass you, willingly in fact. As the experiment conductor, you are the one with the writing stencil in your hand. Put your arm straight in front of you and place it against the chalkboard with your palm flat against it. Next, turn 180 degrees so that you are facing away from the chalkboard. At this point, the others will write a math equation for you to complete on the board. The equation needs to be fairly difficult based on your own intelligence level. So if you're an adult, something like 4 times 12 minus 3 plus 21 is probably going to be sufficient for this test. So after the equation has been written and the others have began to harass you with noise and commotion unpleasurably to you, as well as moving objects in your corner view vision for your eyesight, you can turn 180 degrees so that you are now facing the board again, and give yourself about 5 seconds to complete the equation. You must finish the equation even if you do not think you have the correct answer. After completing this experiment, you as the one who filled out the equation should have a good idea about this psychological hiccup that I mentioned. Although this is also dependent on how well your others did at their job of distracting you in multiple ways. And last and important note, you should take about this that it is not about the volume of the sound, but making a lot of sound and commotion. And it is mostly about sounds or verses of sorts that are most distracting or disconcerting to the person holding the chalk, meaning the one who completes the equation. And the reason you may want to know about this hiccup is so that we can all protect ourselves from J.Johnny. We must always remember that there is not room for them here, or I mean specifically Johnnies at all, or to even be more specific, J.Johnny. You see, if they could ever learn to bypass this hiccup somehow, we would all be screwed. But luckily for us, J.Johnny is way too stupid. Oops, I dropped my camera. We're back. Alright. So, luckily for us, J.Johnny is way too stupid to ever be capable of handling it. So if you are ever worried about harming an innocent bystander, just don't worry about it too much, because it will only work if we all believe he or she is the real Johnny. You might not believe this is totally necessary right now, but just trust me, the lump will teach you something about J.Johnny if you ever see him or her in real life. You will literally know exactly what I mean. I hate that disgusting creature. And we all know J.Johnny did that totally on their own, so it's all his or her fault. That concludes about all I have for today on the subject. On the name or the word Johnny, or J.Johnny, that's what I like to call him. Please like my videos if there was anything you liked about it. You can subscribe to my channel for future content. And if you feel like it, go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section under this video.